For the front foot elevated split squat, you're going to have your foot of the working leg on a step. Now, I have a little step from the step aerobics days. If you don't have something like that, I recommend using the bottom step of your stairwell, assuming your foot isn't longer than the depth of the step, because you do want your entire foot supported. Alternatively, you can find a sturdy, maybe book, but it has to be very firm to support the position of your foot. And ideally, it would be about 6 inches high, okay? The higher the step, the easier this is to get low for people, especially those who are a little stiff through the hips. And a big part of this exercise's goal is to really help with your hip mobility, okay? Now, don't worry about your range of motion. Work on the form and stability to begin with. And over time, the idea is to deepen the range of motion. Okay, now this is probably unlike an exercise you've done before. It's different, the way I like it done. So I'm gonna show you. You're gonna set up with the working leg, and remember to start with the side you think is weaker. Do all your reps on that side first, and then do the same number of reps on the opposite leg. I recommend starting with no weight to begin with, but as you get confident, you can hold dumbbells in either hand. Again, your foot is fully supported on the step, and you're taking a wide step back so that you have big open legs, a good split stance. The front foot is gonna stay flat, but the back foot, the heel is up, and you're working off the ball of your foot. Then the idea is hips face forward, okay, at all times. The back foot and the front foot are parallel. They're both facing forward, toes forward. Be mindful of that back leg and that the feet aren't outward turned. You want your hips forward, chest up, proud chest, brace your core, and inhale. And as you come down, keep the breath, go into this forward flexed position. Notice that my ankle is flexed, knee is flexed, and hip is flexed in the front leg. The back leg hip is quite extended, as is the knee. I'm aiming to get a good stretch through that back hip and working the fullest range of flexion available to the working leg. Notice that my knee is forward of my midfoot, and that is a-okay so long as you can keep your heel on the ground. If your heel lifts, you have to work a little higher up. Don't go quite as low. You want to maintain your weight evenly distributed through the ball of your foot and the heel of that foot at all times. There's a lot going on with this. Okay, splay the toes for great stability. And again, the hips are going down and forward as that knee pushes forward into position while the back leg remains extended and elongated. Then from there, you're pushing back and up. Remember to go down and forward and back and up the same way. Avoid going up and down like an elevator, but rather think about yourself as an escalator going down and coming back up. It's very hard on the knees to stop and start movements at 90 degrees. And when people do this movement, I find that first of all, they don't get the fullest range of motion through their hips and ankles, but they also do not, they end up having more problems with their knee. So assuming you're going forward and down and back and up and working right straight through that 90-degree knee angle, you're doing your knee a lot of good, okay? From the front, what I recommend is taking a wider step out if you're finding you're unstable. This will help with balance. The other thing that helps with balance is either work beside a wall or have even a stick or a ski pole in the opposite arm as you work through this exercise and you gain that stability, okay? There's a lot going on with this, and we'll talk more about this exercise over time, but the basic entry level is with your front foot elevated to maximize the hip mobility you get from it.